All right, everybody, welcome back to Minority Nomad YouTube channel. And I have two special guests here on a subject that I'm really passionate about. So everybody who's been following me on YouTube, on Instagram, know that I live in Bangkok. I've been living here since 2015, off and on. When I'm not nomadic, I'm home. Bangkok is my home. And what frustrates me the most is there's so much misinformation about Bangkok, about living here, about traveling here, about interacting here. So I wanted to put together this series of videos which tells you guys exactly what it's like to live here. Bangkok is the #1 destination in Southeast Asia for expats to live in by far. And it's a highly, highly popular place for tourists. It is the #1 city in the world for tourism by far. So when I see this misinformation going around, I know that it's reaching millions and millions of people, from the cost of living to the scams that are here. So I wanted to bring some locals together and kind of present our view of what it's like to live here and a lot of the myths that are going around. So now I want to introduce two very special people. The very first one is going to be Tori. You guys know Tori. We've done videos together before. The queen of Black travel here in Bangkok. Ebony expats, brothers and sisters of Thailand. Tori, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm excited to be here. Yes, come on.
Right.
Queen of Black expats.
And at top, we have our local expert, our legit Thai. I get in trouble for the other videos I did about Thailand because I didn't have a Thai person. And I have a lot of Thai friends, but thank God I got Nok. Nok not only is Thai, but she is probably one of the most well-traveled people that I know from this country. Absolutely wonderful. She's now in Krabi and an expert on the nightlife here in Bangkok specifically. So Nok, thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
All right, cool. All right, no, I think this is the first time we've done an interview. Like, we've been friends for years, but like first time on camera.
Yes.
Oh, this is exciting. You busting your cherry.
I know.
Well, welcome to our world, Doug. Welcome to our world.
I know. Come on.
All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is I have a list of myths that I've heard over the years. A few people have sent me. A lot of people reach out to me about, and I want to talk about them, and then I want to open the floor up. So the very first one is that everyone in Bangkok is out to scam you. So I often hear this from a lot of people who just travel here occasionally. They come for 2 or 3 days, and they feel like they've been scammed. And a lot of times, I'm going to do a video later on about this, the difference between a hustle and a scam. They're not the same thing. What I will say is that a lot of people here, specifically in the tourism industry, will try to hustle you. They'll try to get as much money out of you as possible for the least amount of effort. And to be perfectly honest, this is something we see everywhere in the world, okay? The guy on Times Square that's selling you $10 rap CDs is exactly the same. The people on Hollywood Boulevard who are dressed up like Elmo and try to get you to take a picture. It's the exact same thing. Here it just so happens to be guys in tuk-tuks with brightly colored vehicles and blaring music trying to take you to get a suit. So what really happens is, especially when you see, I'll focus on the tuk-tuk drivers specifically because they're probably the biggest source of ire and anger here, and it also frustrates those of us who live here. The tuk-tuk drivers will overcharge you almost every time. I don't care how long you've been living here. If they're located in a tourist area like the Grand Palace, Wat Po, pretty much Sukhumvit, Soi 11, where the real nightlife here is, parts of Ceylon, they'll overcharge you because they know you don't have that many options because you're likely a tourist. For those of us who live here, especially when you speak Thai and they realize they can't scam you, the prices goes down a little bit, but it's not going to go down too much. Another thing that they do is they'll try to take you to these commission places. So, and a lot of these commission places are actually owned by friends of mine. So the tailor shop will pay a small commission or a flat fee to every person that the tuk-tuk driver brings in. So if a tuk-tuk driver brings me into a suit shop and I spend $500 on a suit, he's going to get 10% of that just for bringing me there. Or just for bringing me there, he'll get $100 every head, period. So he brings 10 people there a day, he gets 1,000 baht just for bringing people there. And then he also gets the fare for taking you there. So when people say that everybody's out to scam you, people will hustle you in the tourism spaces. But in the area that I live, where Nook lives, where Tori lives, I pay what locals pay. When I go to get my food, I pay for what locals pay. When I go to get utensils and shop, I pay what locals pay. It's just in the tourist areas that you kind of have to watch out, but people aren't going to try to hurt you. That's the biggest misconception. People are going to put you in a position where you're getting hurt. They'll try to get as much money out of you, yes, but they're not going to try to hurt you. So what do you guys think?
Okay, as a Thai, I feel like I still get scammed. They're always gonna ask for the highest price first. So as far as Thais, we do get high prices too. But that's just like a game where you have to try to put the price down with them, and it's normal in Bangkok. So
yeah, it's a barter culture. I mean, if they ask for 300, I'm going down to 100. We're probably going to end up at 150.
Exactly. And for me, I actually kind of appreciate that because of that, the fact that this is a barber culture, like you go to a market, it's the same thing. You get to negotiate. If you, the only thing, like one thing I'm not about to negotiate though is like a taxi ride or a tuk-tuk ride. Like, bro, cut this down meter on and that's gonna be that. And you do have those, that's the situations that I really hate because it's like, listen, just cut your meter on. But stuff like tuk-tuk or if you're at the market, like you're literally, it's very known that this is a country that you're supposed to barter in, like you're supposed to negotiate. And so like no one is trying to get over on you. That is just like say your price, bro. Like what you gonna pay this person? And if he want it, he gonna take you down the street. And if he don't want it, he gonna be like, no, I don't want to take you down the street for that amount of money. So then if you want to go somewhere, pay for your shit or don't. But that's really what it comes down to.
And I think a lot of people end up they feel scammed in hindsight. So those pajama pants thing. Somebody was like, "Oh, I paid 500 baht for these pajama pants," and then somebody else, "Really? I paid 100 for them." And we're like, "What? No, you just suck at negotiation." And it's like, of course they're going to try to. They know, and these, mind you, this is what they do for a living. They're sales. They sell things. So if Apple, for example, knew that they can sell you the newest iPhone for $2,000, they're going to charge you $2,000. Like there's no philanthropy in this game. Like this is what we're talking about. We're talking about a business. So so really, I think it's a misconception because a lot of tourists. Well, I think it's a half myth because a lot of tourists will get played. Like you will, if a tuk-tuk driver says, or a taxi driver, taxis are good for this. If they say, it's going to cost you 500 baht, mind you, it doesn't cost 500 baht to get anywhere in Bangkok. That is, even from the airport, like that is the very furthest that you're going to pay. The 500 baht from the airport to maybe Khao San Road, maybe, but from the airport to where we live on Sukhumvit, what, 350, 400, something like that. Like, maybe 450, give or take. But 500, you're not paying much more than that. But within this city, because the airports, Damwang and Savanapum are both outside of the city. So they're like on the outskirts of Bangkok. So those are going to be basically the furthest place that most tourists will go. So if a taxi driver is saying, it's going to be 500, 400 baht somewhere in the city, no. They're trying to play you out. So, all right.